Now, police officers are more concerned with politics than policing. This is according to the Function of the Police report by think tank, the New South Institute. In fact, one of the authors, Irva Chipkin, says policing has changed dramatically in the last 15 years.
Launched the report in Parliament precisely because it's the centre of our democracy, and we think these ideas and discussions should be at the centre of our public conversation, public debate with MPs and with the wider public, which is why I'm in Cape Town now. The central argument of the report is that South African policing needs to be what Julia Hornberg once called partisan to the citizen, and what we have is a police force that is largely partisan to senior political leadership. And this is the big shift which we argue that has taken place, especially over the last 15 years or so. That during the 1990s there was a very promising transition of overcoming an apartheid era police force towards a much more civilian police force, one responsible to citizens, one's beginning to deal with crime and what we called in the report social emergencies, the kinds of difficulties or challenges you and I in our neighborhoods are facing. It seemed to be the great promise of the transition that looked like that we were developing that kind of police. And then we argue that in around the 2000s, there's a fundamental shift in policing away from that focus towards a police force that becomes largely preoccupied with the political shenanigans in the ruling party, and ultimately becoming embroiled in political contestation amongst the political elites. That's essentially the argument.